All right, everybody, we're going live. My first kitchen live episode. So, camera's all the way back here. So, I just wanted to start it, and I'll go back over here. All right, guys. So, I'm going to do a whole live episode. I'm not going to be able to read a lot of questions. So, if we can keep our questions to whatever you want, I don't care. I'm going to go at the end of making all this. I'm going to go over to the camera and I'm going to do a little Q&A with you so I can answer some of your questions right now. But everything that we're going to do today, I have it all set up. We're going to do the Sole water. We're going to do basically two versions of my keto coffee that I drink. We're also going to do a fat bomb with tons of variations. And we're going to do a 90-second biscuit. And I think that's about it. Yeah. So I want to thank everybody that's already here. I don't know if we have anybody here yet. I hope so. Anyway, if you are here, just say hello. That's all. And if you can, you save your questions to the end. Hopefully you can stay that long. And hopefully I don't burn down my kitchen. So I've got my my new apron on, going GONZO-KETO diet apron, and hopefully this turns out pretty good. Hopefully some of this benefits you guys, and you get an idea of how easy some of this stuff is and how delicious it can be. So one of the first things I want to do is I'm going to make the keto coffee. So let me just finish brewing the coffee over here. I just brew mine in a K-cup, and I use these K-cups. I don't know if you guys can see that. What they say on it is ketogenic coffee pods, medium roast. That's all they are. And they're an instant, so really it empties out the keto pot, the cup. So while that's brewing, what I'm going to do is in mine, I'm going to go ahead, I use this. All right, this is my mixer that I use. All right, I load everything in this every morning, and I'll show you what I put in there. All right, the things I put in are going to be these right here, but what they are is 2 tablespoons of MCT oil. The reason I like MCT oil is because it doesn't need the bile from the liver to digest into a fat, so it can be turned into a ketone really quick. Okay, the caffeine, I like the caffeine because caffeine is found to actually increase ketone productions, where when you have a carbohydrate, it usually decreases the production of a ketone. So when some people like to tell you that the coffee is bad for you and caffeine is bad for you, I guess they're kind of finding out that caffeine and coffee are not as bad as people once thought. The other thing I use is I use 2 tablespoons of butter. Okay, it's very nutritional fat. It's a very good nutritional fat. And I use a little bit of cinnamon. Okay, it's about a 1/4 teaspoon I use. And then you could do whatever you want. You could put liquid stevia in it. I also like to put in a little bit of powdered stevia in mine. All right. So it's based on preference. Okay. So let me get the coffee here. All right. So here's the coffee. Basically, I take 2 cups of coffee, pour it in. Okay. I'll take a pinch of sea salt, which is what I have here. You don't have to do this. I just like it. All right. I put a pinch of my salt in there. I also do some of that Sole water, but I won't do it this time. I'll tell you until I talk to you about the Sole water. I hope all the sound is coming up good. Let me double check that. Can you guys let me know if the sound is working good? Let me double check here. Nice kitchen, lots of room. Thanks. Yeah, this is the island. This island wasn't here when we got here. Hopefully my sound is working pretty good. Give me a thumbs up or something, guys. Let me know. Nice sound. Okay, good, good. All right, awesome. Thanks. Appreciate it. So I mixed all that in here, and let me put the butter in. It's 2 pats of butter. All right, just drop them in. I put my 2 tablespoons of MCT oil in there. Now the MCT oil, you can get C8, which is pretty pure MCT oil, because C8 and C10 don't need bile. C12 needs bile. Now C12 is lauric acid, and that's basically coconut oil. Coconut oil is usually C8, C10, C12, and sometimes there's even a C6 in there. The lower the number, the less bile your fat will need in order to be processed into an energy source. But C6 tends to upset people's stomachs. So that's why C8 is so much more popular. So C8, C10, if you could find it with those 2 MCTs, you're great. C12, which is the lauric acid, tends to work like a long chain acid, fatty acid, which means it needs bile from the liver to be processed. So it takes a little time. I like my get up and go coffee to go right away. I like that energy right away. That's why I like C8 and C10. That's it. I'll go with those 2. All right. And I've been going with now MCT oil, and it just seems like it's been proven. It's been around for 50 years, so it's got a good track record. And of course, I use Kerrygold butter, even with all the little hype that they've been having on them. I don't worry about it. All right, so let me put the cinnamon in. Now, what I use is an emulsifier. That's this thing right here. All right, this thing is awesome. I stopped using like the Ninja cups and the blenders and all those, because this thing here, it does a trick. All right, so that's it. That's all I do, and the thing is already done. This is what the coffee will look like. That's it. Okay? There's nothing super crazy about that coffee. It's just, it smells like cinnamon. It tastes creamier. It tastes better. It's got a lot of fats in it. It's got very little carbohydrates, if any. There might be a little bit of carbohydrates with the cinnamon, but in a 1/4 teaspoon. Seriously, who's counting that? So that's one of my versions of my keto coffee. That's it. All right? Now, Gonzo's Keto Coffee, which I didn't hear anything about for a long, long time until people started, until I mentioned this well over a year ago. And now I've been seeing a lot of it. And it's keto coffee with an egg. Okay, hold that thought. All right, let me grab an egg. All right. Take an egg. You don't cook it. I know people have asked this. You just drop it in like Rocky Balboa would have. All right? And what's he do? He eats like 10 or 12 eggs. All you have to do again, hit it with the emulsifier or the blender, whatever you have. And when you do it, look and see the difference here. Nothing. It doesn't change the look. It doesn't really change the taste that much. It doesn't do much at all, except for, might make it a little more frothier, but it adds a little protein to your coffee. Makes it more of a complete meal. So you could actually have your fats, a little bit of protein, and you can be out the door. Put it in your to-go cup, whatever you want to do. But it's a great way to start out the day. Now I even do this like this, even when I'm going to have an egg or even some bacon with that. So I don't mind putting all the extra effort into my coffee, just to make it makes it that much better. And I'm not afraid of proteins, and I don't think all my viewers should be afraid of proteins either. Protein isn't something you want to avoid. You just don't want to go too crazy on it. All right, that's all. It's not something that I push. I don't push people to get a lot of protein in, but I don't push you to not get any protein in, because you don't want to go that route. Okay. And I'm actually one of those guys, you guys all pretty much know this, and if you don't, welcome to the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Forgot to tell you that in the beginning. But I like to put a lot of fats in my keto diet, because keto diet is a high fat diet. Regardless of what some of these companies out there will tell you about this fat lever, or how to keep your fats down so your body will utilize your own fat, it's not how it works. You need to actually put forth the effort. I think my TV just turned on. It's kind of weird. Anyway, so that so far was my keto coffee. I got myself in right in the middle of a thought or something, and the TV turned on. Right here, let me talk about this Soleil water. Soleil water has been pretty popular of late. All right, and all it is, it's really simple. All right, you take a glass jar, or even a plastic one, but I think glass is probably going to be better. So that's why I got this giant mason jar. Okay, and then what you're going to do is, I got this Soleil rock salt. It's Himalayan salt, and it even says right on it, right here, Soleil Himalayan salt. Soleil Himalayan salt. And it's in pretty big chunks. Now you can get it, you could do Soleil water with the small granular salt, the Himalayan salt. But the way you want to do it is, you want to fill up your container about a third of the way, believe it or not, with that salt, and the rest with some sort of distilled water or filtered water, which is what I've done. And then you let it sit for about 24 hours before you start dipping into it. And then what you do, the way to use it, I have a little plastic. You always want to keep the metal away from the Soleil water. It seems to draw out the minerals that the benefit of it has. I'll take the little scooper, scoop out some of the water, put it in my coffee. It pretty much self-mixes. It's not bad. Close it back up, and you get 84 minerals in one serving of this. 84 minerals. It's a lot of minerals to get from your Soleil water. So I can understand why it's a big craze and everybody's loving it and everybody's wanting to get into it. So I'm doing it. Like I said, this thing started at full probably in the beginning of the week. This is a pretty good deal. I already drink salt water anyway, but to make my batch of Soleil water ahead of time and to have it always available, and I put it in water all day long. I'll put one of these scoops in water, or I'll put 2 in when I do 2 servings of like my coffee. So that is something that I would recommend, especially for those people who are having leg cramps, fatigue, irritability, tiredness. But they just need a pick-me-up. Believe it or not, when you do salt water, it gives you a really good pickup. Let me come over and see if you guys have any questions so far. See if I can try to answer some of these. What do we have, guys? Let me scroll down. Hey there. Hey, there's Bernie. Yep. Oh, you like my whisk? Yeah, that was my little whisk there. Thank you. All right, not afraid of protein. Good, 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 good. Espresso. I apologize for that. I don't know why my niece is calling me. All right. But if she calls again, I'm going to have to pause the live and see what's up. All right. Let's move on to, let's see. How about the 90-second muffin? That sounds like a good one. All right, what you're going to do, they also call it a mug muffin. And you take this mug, all right, you put a little spray in it. I like to spray it first. And I have this coconut spray that I use. So you just spray it in the mug. Make sure it's pretty good. You're going to take 3 tablespoons of almond flour. All right? 3 tablespoons of almond flour. Drop it in, right in there. All right? You're going to take a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Hold on. Let me see what she's having to say. 1 second, guys. Anyway, I can't see what she's writing. All right, we're still live, right? All right. Okay. And this mug recipe is very quick. Baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon. So 3 tablespoons of almond flour, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1 egg. Crack it right into the cup, the mug that you're going to use. And I don't just throw it on the floor. I have this little bag that's set up for my counter, and I just throw everything in this little mini grocery bag. Now, so it just goes in there, and I'll empty it later. Whisk. You whisk it right up into your thing, into your bowl. Make sure you get all the lumps out. Get all the flour broken down. Doesn't take long. It's just really kind of quick. And you eyeball it. You get a good look. I think I did pretty good. I think I got it all. Throw it in the microwave, 90 seconds. So, that's pretty much it on that. When it comes out, I'm going to take my knife, bread knife, and once this comes out, I'm going to put it on to this plate, and I'm going to cut it. 1 second here. All right. Takes about 90 seconds. And you want to use every bit of those 90 seconds. But of course, it depends on your microwave. Just test it out. I made 2 of them earlier. And I had my wife and my niece test them out and see what they thought of them. And my wife said, for a carb lover, I love this. She said, this is awesome. I would actually eat this in the morning. I said, great. Only takes 90 seconds. And she goes, well, tell me what's in it. She was like, because she doesn't like sweeteners. She's afraid of, you know, like the monk fruit, erythritol, stevia. She just doesn't like them. She thinks they get her sick. And they might. I doubt it. I think she just doesn't want to switch off of carbs. But she said that she would actually eat that in the morning. And I'm like, great. Because it makes a pretty good size muffin. And it's already done. And you, like she said, she would probably only eat half of it. And some people might. And what I do is I take it, once it's out of the microwave, I put the plate over it, I'll flip it over, and I'll let it come out. That's it. Okay? So, here's what we have. Right now, this is what it looks like. Steaming hot. Alright? So, I take that muffin right there. Alright? I let it cool for a little bit, for a couple of seconds. But in the meantime, what I'll do is I'll take a pan that I have set up with butter. Alright? I'll go ahead, put that on a medium heat. Let that butter melt. And in the meantime, I will cut this thing in half. Now what you do is you just take it, and you take this muffin, and you just cut it right across the top. That's it. Alright? Now, cut it apart, and look what you have. You basically have 2 little muffins. They're very spongy, very light. And then I like to take a pan, Heat up the butter because what? More fat. Why not? More fat. Okay? I get it nice and buttery, and then I'll just throw them on. All right? I'll let them heat up to a golden brown, and I even do both sides. I like to do both sides of them. I just like the crispiness that the pan fry will do for them, because the spongy's okay, but I just kind of like that crispiness and the goldenness and the more buttery taste to it, and it just I think it really benefits it a lot. So we'll have that cook up. Let me have a sip of my. That's good. That's really good. Yeah, that's really good. So, do we have any questions yet? Any concerns? Any comments? What do we got? Yep, that is a must try. It is. Yeah, there isn't much of an almond flour taste. It does have a little bit of an eggy taste, but what you can do with this thing is what my niece said, and I had just told my wife when my niece was upstairs. I was like, you can actually take this and make an Egg McMuffin out of it. So you make that little concoction there, you put another egg on it, you put some of your bacon on it, cheese, whatever, boop, out the door, along with your keto coffee. It's a pretty good breakfast. Really good breakfast, actually. So, that's all I'm doing. That's it. Okay? All right. The other thing that you can do with that is, if you want, you can add Old Spice seasoning. Even and before you actually put it in a microwave, you could actually put it in just a little bit of shredded cheese, and you can make this thing into maybe like a dinner muffin, say with any kind of food that you're going to have that day. It's like kind of like the Red Lobster's kind of Old Bay muffins that they make. It's actually really good. So I use a little bit of the Old Bay seasoning along with some cheddar or shredded cheese, and it comes out pretty good. And this is them so far, guys. This is what they look like. I let them get that little bit of golden brown. It gets a little bit of crust on it, and boy, is it good. And I soak up all that butter. Soak it all up. Don't let it go to waste. And that spongy muffin, that will absorb a lot of this butter that's in the pan. All right? Hopefully there's no questions on that. It's pretty simple. But there are so many other people that can add stuff to it, make it their own, and that's fine. I'm all about that. Make it your own. I have no problem with that at all. Oh, one of the other things I wanted to make too, which I'll go ahead and do that now as well, is this. Let me grab my my cup, clean this out. A lot of people ask me about the Gonzo's butter broth. So I just wanted to make it up real quick and show you guys what it's all about. The butter broth is very, very, very good. I don't know that I came up with it. I haven't ever seen anybody else come up with it, but it's totally up to whoever wants to claim that they came up with this. I don't care. what I'm going to do is put some, just some hot water in this. And while that's going, I then take 2 bouillon cubes, like you see right here. Now you could take the bouillon cubes, or you could use Soleil water. It's up to you. It really is. Or you could even just do pinches of Himalayan sea salt. But then I add 2 pats of butter to it as well, and then I'll blend it up. And I'll show you what it's like when I do this. It comes out pretty good, all right? It increases your salt intake, which if you didn't know that your salt intake should be higher than the U.S. recommended sugar intake, which is 13 to 2,400 milligrams of salt a day, you're actually more at a higher mortality rate at that level of salt than you are if you were at 5,000 milligrams of salt. Even if you start taking up to like 12,000 milligrams of salt a day, you are not going to be at the same mortality chance that you are by sticking to the U.S. standard. Now, there is about 3% of the population that is susceptible to a higher sodium, but to punish the other 97% and tell them that their salt needs to be low, it's just kind of nonsense. Now, this study was in the New England Journal of Medicine. Dr. Finney talked about this in one of his videos, and he pointed it out that these guys have not been refuted in over 40 years. And this New England Journal of Medicine is a very reputable medical journal website and place for doctors to get their ideas out there, to get their studies shown and everything else. Plus, it's a hard process to get it in. All right, let me just go ahead, get this water ready. I use 2 cups of this water as well. So some people actually use bone broth. They heat up their bone broth. Hopefully that's doing it again. They'll heat up bone broth and a little bit of butter, and they'll do that. Bone broth is not always the easiest thing to consume. It's a very, very healthy beverage to consume. I'm not sure if it's giving me hot water yet or not. Oh, there it goes. So with that, it's a matter of preference. For me, I like the water. Okay, I put it in hot water, butter, bouillon cubes. I know there's controversy over the bouillon cubes. I'm okay with it. It's not going to wreck my diet. It's not going to wreck your diet. All right. Now, I'm just going to take the hot water, 2 cups, pour it into my little mixer. 2 pats of butter, 2 bouillon cubes. Let me rinse off my emulsifier. And I blend this up. That's it. Pretty simple. Now, this is something I like to have any time of the day. All right? That's it. That's as simple as it is. It tastes like a buttery chicken broth. And the comfort feeling that you get with drinking this stuff, it's just, it takes you back. It can take you back to the good old days, you know. But it's just that simple, guys. Just that simple. All right? So, we've gone over Soleil water. We've gone over 2 different versions of the keto coffee. Two different kinds. Total preference. We've gone over the 90-second muffin, which, by the way, this is it. Both sides now. Both sides completely done. All right. You break that thing open. Look at that. It's like bread. I'm telling you, it's just amazing. All right. It holds together really well. That is amazing. I love it. Do we have any questions on anything so far? I haven't burned down my kitchen yet, so that's a plus, right? We'll see what happens. What do we got going on? We got about 14 people here. Hopefully we'll get more. Please give a thumbs up if you enjoy this, so I know to keep making these kitchen cooking episodes. And I'll try to get some really good ideas. And today I just wanted to go with a lot of the basics, and just to get some of these things that I talk about all the time, like my coffee I talk about, my butter broth I talk about. I know a lot of people will benefit from that 90-second or that mug muffin, whatever you want to call it. And then the next thing I'm going to do is a fat bomb. And it's that simple. I love fat bombs. I think they're a good benefit to the ketogenic diet, because if you're feeling like you're losing a little bit of energy, have a fat bomb. All right? Now, my ingredients for the fat bomb are going to be this. There are 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, 2 tablespoons of MCT oil. And the reason a lot of the recipes will go with like a split. They'll go with like either 2 and 2 or 3 and 3. I like to go with a little bit more of the coconut oil because it makes the fat bombs a little more firm. Okay, it keeps them a little more firm than what they normally would be with an equal amount of MCT oil and coconut oil. But again, that's your preference. If you're going to leave them in the freezer for even longer, I don't. I like to get to them. I'll eat a couple of them. And I make smaller ones. You'll see. I'll put them in this one here. Now, with this, take a regular size saucepan here. All right? And I'm going to put my coconut oil in it. Okay? Let me get that in. Again, 4 tablespoons of coconut oil. Two tablespoons of MCT oil. Now, I'll go ahead and put that on a medium heat just for now, just until that coconut oil can actually go from that solid form into a liquid form. All right? Because as of right now, this is what we're looking at. See if you can see that. Hopefully you can see that. Okay? Yeah. All right. Well, it doesn't take long. The heat will actually turn that in, and they'll look the same. They'll basically be about the same. So, and then I go from a medium heat down to in between low and medium. I'll let that liquefy, let that break down. The next thing I'm going to add in is I'm going to add in my 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now I have all these different kinds of extracts, so it's just a matter of your choice. All right, here's all the ones that I have. I have an almond one, I have rum, orange, hazelnut, raspberry, root beer. Gosh, they make them in everything. Strawberry, coffee, raspberry, coconut. That's another strawberry. Just another vanilla. Stevia vanilla, or no, that's another vanilla. That's it. Yep. So there's so many different kinds out there. It's just a matter of what you want to get. Now, I will go ahead. I have this all, it's already liquid down. So I'm going to go ahead and add my vanilla to it. Let me clean off my whisk. The vanilla doesn't really break down so much. It'll beat up, but you do your best to mix it up. Right now I'm getting about a consistency like that. It looks like caramelized, just caramelization kind of look to it. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I slowly add a little bit of the sugar to it, which is the erythritol, all right? Not real sugar. And I'm going to slowly add it in as I mix it up. Now my trick to this is to keep it from getting so granular and like a solid substance at the bottom. I want to heat it up just a little bit more, and I let that cook into it a little bit more and break it down a little bit. So now I'll turn the heat back up to a little bit on the medium side. Kind of mix that up a little bit as we're talking here. I could see the granulars and the crystal kind of erythritol at the bottom. So now you could either use like a confectionery sugar to it, or you could use this. I have both. Sometimes I have more of the granular, so I don't mind using it either way. What I have found out though is when I pour out my molds, right, is that I tend to get more of the sugary fat bombs at the end because of all the granular that kind of settles at the bottom. But if I do this, it doesn't really do that as much. I don't think you don't eliminate those granules or that sugar settling at the bottom of your bowl as much as you would like, but it's just you try to do your best. If you could smell what this smells like, if you could smell this right now, it's pretty good. It has like, you could smell the oil part, but the vanilla, the sweet erythritol in it, it's, let me see if I can bring it over so you guys can see what it's looking like. This is what it's looking like here. So, I don't know if I'm actually getting a good view of that for you guys. Yeah, there it is. All right. All right. So I just kind of make sure it's mixed in pretty good. And then from here, I'm just going to add more of the cacao. Now I'm going to add the cacao in very slow as well, mixing it up at the same time, making sure I just put a little bit in at a time, mix it up. And like what I do is when it starts to float at the top, I mix and mix until I don't see any more floating at the top, and then I'll sprinkle a little bit more in, mix it up until I don't see any more on the sides or any more floating on the top. I'll put a little more in. Just take your time. It's not like, you know, this isn't one of these things you have to rush to do. It's really thickening up though, so just keep mixing. Just keep mixing. Just keep mixing. Now, with the fat bombs, what I'm going to do is you can make just chocolate fat bombs like this and pour them into these molds. Or what I like to do is I take some of these like macadamia nuts, put them in the mold, pistachios. I have these almonds or walnuts that I'll use too. You finish mixing this. Oops. All right, here's what I have. Ready? That's it. So that's what I have right now. Okay, hopefully you can see that. That's what it is. All right. Let me grab this pack of walnuts out of here. All right, when I do the, slide this out of the way. When I pour these into the molds, you can get any molds you want. These right here, this batch will fill up this amount right here, all right? And this is what, 30 little molds that you can get. I got this on Amazon, so it comes in a pack of 2. Now you can get any kind you want. I even got little Bigfoot guys. You can get, I always go with the silicone though. Fish, sticks, starfish, look like kind of like bun cakes, kind of like in things. I don't know, kind of roses maybe because of the pink. I don't know. But now these are a little stiffer, okay? And the benefit of these being a little stiff is that you'll be able to put this in the freezer without having to put a pan or maybe a cutting board underneath it, like I'm gonna have to with this. Because if you fill this up and try to put this into the freezer, you're gonna spill this stuff everywhere. All right? Now, get this on a nice flat surface, preferably with your cookie sheet already intact. All right? So, let me grab my cutting board or cookie sheet. I got it over here. All right, so you can take a regular cutting board, place it on there in the beginning, because I've done it where I try to wiggle this thing onto a cookie sheet or something, and I'm spilling this stuff all over the place. Okay, it's just not a happy happy day when you did all you could to make it work and it just didn't. All right, just didn't work out. All right, now my trick on this is that I use one of these little old creamers like this. You guys have all seen these. I take the creamer. Hopefully this is pretty well mixed. And I'll pour all this stuff right into the creamer. Or a little dispenser, or whatever you want to call it. All right, so I'm working on getting every little bit I can into this little creamer. And you'll see, it just makes it a lot easier to dip these, to pour these into the molds. All right, so I'm going to put that right up front, and I'm going to show you how this works. All right. Well, I'll make a couple of chocolate first. All right, we'll make a couple chocolate ones like this. Just like that. And so these are pretty small fat bombs, but you can make bigger ones. Like you can make as big as you want, really, as big as the molds you have. It's totally up to you. Now, in order to make these a little bit different, take a couple pistachios, just place them in there prior to pouring the stuff in. I put about 2 pistachios in some of these. All right, I put them in the hearts here, in this hearts row, and then I'll just pour it up and they kind of stay right there. Just like that. These are little walnut and almond bags that I get. There's about 100 calories they claim in this little bag. which is why I tell you guys to watch how many nuts and cheese you eat in the very beginning of the ketogenic diet, because it doesn't take much of these to add up really, really fast. Okay? Break them open. It's like they're already made for you to make your fat bombs with. So I'll take some of these almonds. I'll put an almond in each one. It's almost kind of like an almond joy with the coconut oil and the almond and the chocolate. So let me fill those up. Oh, too much. I'll take a couple of the walnuts that are already broken down, throw them in. Walnuts, they say, are good for the brain. Sometimes. I would agree. All right. And just fill those up. So, it's not like these are all different fat bombs, but some people like the nuts, some people don't. You can make it any way you want. You could add peanut butter to this, you could add almond butter to this. When you're heating it up and mixing it, it's totally up to you. It's whatever you choose to do. All right? I'll go ahead and add some almonds. I have some extra almonds. I'll put those in. And you'll see how the granular kind of part of this fat bomb, it's getting a little thicker as I get to the bottom. But that's because the erythritol, it just doesn't turn into a super liquid. It just kind of thickens up at the bottom. So let me just make some more. Let's see if I could even get to the end here. I might not make it, but I don't want them too sugary, and there's a little bit of sugar left in this. Not bad. It's pretty good, by the way. It's like licking the bowl. Anyway, so what did I get? I got 27 fat bombs. That's not too bad. All right. Now what you'll do is you'll stick this in the freezer. All right. The benefit of doing them on a silicone mold is that when you get them frozen and you want to break them out of the freezer, so much easier just to use that flexi silicone to plop them out. You immediately take them, throw them into a freezer bag, one of those Ziploc freezer bags. Zip it shut, keep it in the freezer. Whenever you need some sort of pick-me-up, some sort of extra fat, and you don't want to get in your carbs, you don't want to get in any of your proteins, boom, you got a fat bomb. Total benefit. All right. That's about everything I wanted to do today as far as teaching you guys everything I wanted to teach you. Hopefully this helped everybody. I'm going to come over, see what kind of questions we got. Oh, here. I'm not sure if these are frozen yet. And what I did was when I stuck them in the freezer, they kind of, they spilled a little bit. But here is one of the fat bombs. And this is what they look like. All right. This is one of the square ones. It's just a frozen little fat bomb. All right. That's it. And they're good. Really good. And basically, I just popped it out by pushing it out of the silicone mold. Here's a heart one. Just like that. And they're relatively solid. Just like that. They're small. They're a very sweet treat. I'm going to throw this back in the freezer because fat bombs will start to melt nearly immediately. Okay? They're not like M&Ms with that candy coating. Melts in your mouth, not in your hands. Fat bombs will start to melt in your hands before you can even get them to your mouth. So, do your best to freeze them. Keep them frozen. Keep the benefit that way. Alright? Let me throw this in. Bring my coffee and my little 90-second muffin over to you guys. And we'll see what's going on. We'll have a little sit down and talk here. We'll turn the camera this way. You can see the rest of my stupid kitchen. All right. I'm glad, Linda. Thank you. I enjoyed doing it too. Does anybody have any questions or concerns, comments, suggestions? I'm always open to suggestions. Let me turn that straight. Rebel Creamery ice cream yet? No. It is real keto, real food, pretty good. Huh. That's nice to know, Radine. You know what? Let me grab a water. I'm a little parched. Some people are asking some of the things that I drink. Now here's some of the things that I would recommend to drink. I like this water here, Essentia. It's alkaline water. I just kind of like it. I think it's beneficial. All right, let me turn this up so I can see you guys. It's hot in this kitchen too today. I turned the AC off so that it wouldn't be so noisy. You guys would be able to hear me. This is this other stuff that I found. It's called Focus. Like that. It's just basically sparkling water with a little bit of flavor to it. And Zevia. It's a calorie energy drink. It's just something to break up the monotony of water, even though I kind of like water. So those are just some of my tips. I'll tell you what, I'm not usually nervous, but doing this kind of made me a little nervous. And you know what? Let me just take this back to my comfort zone. And I'll just go over here in my spot that I like to do from. All right. I know the TV's on, HGTV is playing. I could hear some of their shows. All right. We're set up and we're good to go. All right. Let me go back and see if I have any questions that I have to address. Hey, how goes the battle? The battle goes. It was hot in that kitchen today. Hot, hot, hot. Cooking Keto with Christy has a few. They are really mostly cream cheese based. Oh, Cindy Brown's talking about something. Let's see. How much cacao powder and sweetener did you use in the fat bombs? The cacao powder was, let me just double check. Oh, the cacao powder was a 1/4 cup, and the monk fruit, I like to use a little bit less than a 1/4 cup on that monk fruit. I'm sorry, I don't think I pointed that out. But it's a 1/4 cup of the cacao powder and just a little bit less than a quarter cup of monk fruit. That's all. But those are basically the fat bombs that I would recommend. Now you could add the peanut butter ones or the, you know, whatever almond flavored ones you want to do. Right. Keto Connect did make one of those. I think I have like 10 different books on fat bombs, and honestly, they don't get much different. They're, you know, everybody's basically selling the same thing. They're just kind of rewording it a little differently. Linda says, I've been eating fresh pork rinds and smoked turkey legs all weekend. We have Pioneer Day Festival here this weekend. That's funny. That's awesome. Yeah, it's a turkey leg. Holy cow, that's awesome. That has all the dark meat in it. Ah, man, that's lucky. You just go over to the festival and grab that stuff. And then they have what? Fried pork, fresh pork rinds? How do you beat that? It's the citrus ones. I don't know what they were talking about. I hope some of those recipes and ideas were helpful there. I know a lot of you guys were asking about the hi Bernie. We're asking about the butter broth, and some of you guys were asking about the egg and my coffee, even though I made a video on it before. Let's see what else. The Soleil water is actually pretty good. I found, Redeem says, which is Black Beauty, I found an easy way to make homemade nut butter of any kind that is your favorite. Throw 8 ounces of nuts in a blender, add 1 stick of butter to a Ninja, and blend. That's awesome, Redeem. That's really awesome. I think I might steal that idea and make a nut butter. How you like that? All right, let's see. They were core recipes, Cindy. They were basic core recipes. And I think all the core recipes like that in one video, I think is kind of helpful. Okay? I really do. I think it was helpful in the fact that you can go to one video and see all these basic recipes instead of going to all the individual video, you know, trying to find each individual video and trying to figure out, okay, does this have this? Does this have that? This one basically, I tried to put in as many recipes as I could because I know a lot of people, there aren't too many videos that have this many recipes in there. Okay, there's just not. There's some people that'll say, oh, well, I'll just make a bulletproof coffee video, and then I'll make a different Soleil water video, and then I'll make a different 90-second muffin video. So yeah, I could have done all these different videos and all these different ideas, but I got a lot of things to cook for you guys, a lot. And some of them aren't going to be these simple things. Some of them are going to be my chicken, the chicken that I love. I'm going to show you guys how to make an awesome, you'll see, you'll see. How to make a milk chocolate fat bomb. The problem with the milk chocolate fat bomb is that the milk part of the chocolate adds a lot of sugar. So you really have to go with the dark chocolate one. And what you can do is you can just basically take what I just did right now. But instead of adding coconut or instead of adding cacao powder, you could add a little bit of that. But what you would want to do is you would take baker's chocolate, chop it up real fine, and melt that into it. And that would actually take away a lot of the sweetener, okay? Because with that dark chocolate, you're not going to need all that extra sweetener to go with it. Because the dark chocolate is so good for the brain and so good for your antioxidants and everything that you're not going to need all that extra stuff. What else we got? I have all my Salt Life stuff on today. I have my Salt Life hat. I have my little turtle, my Salt Life turtle on. My little beach attire, and my Salt Life shirt. Yeah. My wife goes back to school on Monday, so her teaching summer off thing is over. I am a chocolate fan. I guess I don't want to be, but I am. I like it. And let me show you what I have in the fridge. I found these online. And what these are here, if you have a chocolate craving, okay, it's keto bark, all right? And these are with almonds. So what they are is little, and it's called Choco Zero, all right? Or Choc Zero. And they come in these little bars, little thin bars. They're like half of a Hershey bar. You know, like a Hershey bar would be, I know, here I'm showing how to give a chocolate craving. That would be a Hershey bar size. I'm giving chocolate tips to people who don't like chocolate. Ugh, I'm an idiot. Oh yes, there's so many different fat bombs out there that, you know, you could make 100 videos on fat bombs and really not repeat them too often. All right, but anyway, this is similar to a fat bomb. Here's the, let me see, zero sugar alcohols, it says. I don't know how that's possible. Anyway, that's it. Carbohydrates, 2 net carbohydrates. That's not bad. That's it right there. If I'm really in a pinch, I'll have one. How many are in here? There's 3 left. I've had these for probably about 3 weeks. And there's 6 that come in a box. So I rarely have them. Not too often at all. But I'll tell you what, in a pinch, if you're kind of craving that chocolate, not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. Choc Zero. Not getting paid by them. So anybody keeps thinking I'm getting paid by these people or I'm making some sort of money profiting, I don't know how to do that. Would I ever? Sure. Somebody wants to sponsor a video and I believe in their product, absolutely I would let them pay for one of my videos. There's nothing wrong with getting paid for doing this, guys. I understand that you guys like the fact that I do it for free, but you know, sometimes a little extra money isn't bad, which is why I started that Patreon account. I kind of, it gets expensive to make videos and to make the foods and the time out and sometimes the editing of videos. It takes some time. And you know, you'll pay me to come cook for you? I'll cook for hugs. That's it. I would come over and cook for anybody who lived near me. I don't mind. I like it. I like cooking. I really do. I enjoy it. I do a lot of the cooking in our house. My wife has been doing a lot lately, but usually I do it. Where did I get these? I think Amazon. I get so much stuff off of Amazon. Like I get stuff every day. Like this stuff right here. My wife walked out to the house earlier, and she's like, delivery. And all this stuff here was on the door. So, Dollar Shave Club. That's not from Amazon. This one's from eBay. I have no idea what that is. Probably an apron. I have so many different aprons, you guys. I bought all these weird, cheap aprons. We'll see. This might be an apron. I don't know. Hard to tell. I think that's exactly what it is. Look, it's an apron. How about that, huh? Remember, you guys know how I love my t-shirts, and I have different t-shirts all the time. Guess what? Now that I'm cooking, different aprons all the time. Oh, this thing is full of packing stuff. What is this? silicone baking mats. Because I'm going to show you guys baking stuff. I'm going to show you guys cooking stuff. And I want to use these as opposed to putting foil down all the time. So I've been reading up on these. And you just put these on your cookie sheets, and you don't have to put the foil down. I thought it was a good idea. I do. I like silicone mats. I have a couple of them, but I wanted to get some new clean ones that look very professional because I want to look professional for you guys. Believe it or not, I even bought a chef shirt. It's kind of like you would see on Hell's Kitchen. It's kind of cool. You're old, you say. I prefer to do most of my shopping online. Not one of those guys that likes to go out. Oh, my niece. She is texting me, calling me right in the middle of all my videos. I will get back to you, Amber. I swear I will. I need to get some of those mats. They're pretty good stuff, Paleo Barbie. I've been really reading a lot of good things on these things. They're not expensive either. I think these 3 right here, like this size, were $9.99. Now, you have to shop around. You know, you Google it once, on Amazon, and you just kind of do your best to pick whoever's giving you the best deal. Yeah. So I also bought these rolling silicone mats, the ones with the little pictures of the pie sizes, cookie sizes, and stuff like that. So I've really done buying a lot of things to help me look like a better cook than what I'll probably be. I like to cook. I'm pretty good at cooking. I just want my cooking videos to look very professional, very easy to do for you guys. So I try to make them look as professional and easy to follow and clean cut as I can. That's what I'm trying. Yeah. I got to clean this whole mess up before the wife gets home. Do we have any questions, any comments, any concerns? I hope this video was very helpful for you guys. Nurse Feelgood, I'm glad you're here again. I'd like to try silicone muffin cups. I have them. Hold on, let me grab them. Like this stuff right here, guys. I bought a whole bunch of this stuff just to show you guys different things that we're gonna make. Here are the little mini springform pans. So we'll make little cakes, mini cakes out of this, moon pies, stuff like that, just out of these mini ones. All right. I have these. These can make donuts or bagels. All right. And we're gonna do both, donuts and bagels, keto. All right. These are the muffin silicone ones that I'm talking about here. Okay. Now, you can get them in just the red one that I have down below, which is just the muffin silicone, or you can get these silicone muffin ones. These are reusable. They're the silicone, muffins. Now, I came up with this because once you put your silicone in here, you can either put them on a cookie sheet, or you could put them right in this, just like that. How's that? I thought that was pretty neat. Now, you could also take them and put them in something like this, in one of these. All right? So you make your little muffin, you could throw it in there and let them rise and let them cook in there. So, depending on how you want to do that. You know what I mean? So, something like that. Or you could just make them in this size here, and these would be big muffins with the big muffin top and everything else. And we're going to make those. Blueberry ones. I bought these little mini loaf pans. So we'll make mini loaves, all right? We could add strawberries, blueberries, because berries are keto friendly. I also have the little mini bundt cakes that will also make some of those delicious little desserts in. So I'm telling you guys, I'm trying to be as professional as I can with you. I have a little bit bigger loaf pan. And of course I got a new cookie sheet. This one is so heavy. I don't know. It's like, it's heavy. It's one of the heaviest, most durable, keto zucchini bread. That sounds good. This thing is like, it has like 2 ply to it. You could hear it. Well, how do you? Anyway, it's really heavy. It's heavy feeling. It's heavy. It's durable. Now this thing here, this I found, this is awesome. This thing, does anybody know what this is? Who knows what this is? Well, I don't have a lot of room either, you guys. What I did was I made room. I redesigned my kitchen. And I kind of, my kitchen was a blank canvas. It just had cabinets along that wall right there. So I added that island. I added in the bar over here. I added a lot of stuff. Oh, Melissa Lewis chicken holder. That's exactly what it is. You put this onto a cookie sheet, all right? And you take your little chicken legs, and after you've marinated them and barbecue or whatever you want to put them in, you just hook them into here, and then you just put them around in the little carousel, and you just line them up, and they just hang there. And then you cook them in your oven while they hang, just like that. And they all just hang down right from here, all along this whole thing. How amazing is that? All right? So we are going to make some drummies, put them on there. I think that's amazing. I've got 2 or 3 different kinds of barbecue sauce that I'll show you guys that are actually really good for you. Okay, Nurse Feel Good, good. Thanks for stopping in. Please make sure you guys do a thumbs up and share the video. I want to thank everybody for showing up. Can't wait to use this. Thanks, guys. Thanks for making this first one easy. I was really nervous coming into it, so having you guys there with me was awesome. It really is. Thanks for the support. I will try to go back and answer some of the questions texting-wise, and we'll see you guys soon. Oh, there's plenty of them out there. You don't have to make your own on this. There's so many good ones out there. All right, guys. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being there for me. Spivey, I know you weren't here today. I hope you're going to watch the review. Spivey is with his friend who came to visit him. So I understand that Spivey's not here. Cindy Brown, you were here the whole time, I think. All you guys were. That was awesome. All right, guys. Thanks again. 73, 74 minutes. It's kind of long. Sorry. Sorry if I took up too much of your day. And I'll talk to you guys on the next one. I'm not sure exactly when it'll be, but it'll be soon. It is over. It's over. Sorry. All right, guys. Thanks. We'll see you guys soon. All right. Watch the replay. Watch the replay. Share, share. Hugs, hugs. Bye, guys.